Your subconscious mind is like a 3D printer. It prints out, creates your life based on the program, the code, the blueprint that you gave it. And it doesn't matter whether it's a good, bad, right, wrong program. Whatever you give to your subconscious mind, it starts acting on it. And from the moment you were born up to today, you've been giving life, society, people around you have been giving information, code to your subconscious mind. And you have created all those programs, all that conditioning. And today your life is a result of all that conditioning. So if we want to outgrow, transform, move into different ways in our life, we must learn how to communicate with our subconscious mind effectively so that we can start changing those programs, start changing those blueprints, start changing that conditioning so that instead of going that way, the same way, we can start introducing a new path, a new direction, and we can align the master power of our subconscious mind, that creative force of the mind, to get us there in a way that is perfect for us. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to communicate effectively with your subconscious mind so that you can change, upgrade the system, give a new program to your subconscious mind, and watch your life become aligned with that new program. So let's go straight into this video, guys. As always, thank you for being here, for watching this video. If you like and want to see more of this type of video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well to help me grow this channel and this video. Okay, guys? So the first thing you need to remember is that we are always communicating with our subconscious mind. It is never off. We never turn it on. Every thought you have, every word you speak, every behavior you do, whatever you read, whatever you hold in your stream of consciousness is directly given to your subconscious mind. Okay? But you also have to realize that your subconscious mind is also communicating with your conscious mind. So when you're not paying attention, when you're doing chores, when you're running your life on autopilot, you know, when you're driving, brushing your teeth, cooking, doing those mundane tasks, maybe even working, you got all those thoughts that just comes up, the same old habitual thoughts, the same old habitual stories, the same thing that just come out of nowhere. They don't come out of nowhere, they come from your subconscious mind based on all those programs, all those input that you've programmed into your mind. Yeah? So your conscious mind is a little bit like a CEO. It's your conscious mind job to set the vision for the company. To be like, you know what, guys, we've been going astray, our results have not been good in the last quarter or whatever. Let's create a new vision, a new goal. So the CEO of your life is your conscious mind. This is where you take conscious control of choosing what do I want instead? Where do I want my life to go? How do I want to see, behave, feel in my life moving forward? So you gotta set that vision and you gotta start communicating consciously, differently with your subconscious mind. Yeah? But you also have to realize that the external world is also constantly communicating with your subconscious mind all the time. Think about social media. Think about all the information you receive just by watching this video, just by being on YouTube, on social media, all the advertisements, all the pictures, all the videos, all the reels, all the music, all that endless amount of bombarding information come to us. Yeah, you're watching the news, there's people, there's adverts, there's the radio. It never stops. So that information goes somewhere, right? You receive it. So whether you choose to disregard it and be like, no, this is bullshit, this is right, this is wrong, right? You can do that consciously. But for a majority of the time, you know, we get all those subliminals, ads and things, and we see it. And what it does is that it starts to change our perception. Yeah, it starts to change our perception. And here is the point. Perception is creation. So the moment you let all those information create a perception in your mind, and when there is that repetition of information coming in your mind, it transforms that perception into conviction. And it goes straight into your subconscious mind, and then you start to act on it. But the moment you have a perception about something, you are creating it. And this is an important point in effective communication with your mind, with your subconscious mind, is to remember that your perception, so what you hold in your mind, the thoughts, the story, the meaning you create about something, is what you will create. Because your subconscious mind is always listening, eardropping to what you hold in your thought, consciously or subconsciously. And it takes it on. And there is this pattern of repetition that is very important when it comes to reprogramming your subconscious mind, right? It doesn't just take one little, oh, I read it once and it's done, right? There's a pattern of repetition unless it's emotionally heavily charged, and then the imprint on the subconscious mind will be faster. That's why they often say that when you can do affirmation and you can charge them up with emotion, they stick to your subconscious mind. They stick faster to your subconscious mind, right? So perception is creation, and it doesn't matter whether your perception is right, wrong, good or bad. It goes straight to the subconscious mind. So the question then is, how can we correct our perception so that it matches the result that we want? And I'm going to give you an example of how I used to struggle with a wrong perception. When I started my business, my coaching business, I had this belief that it was hard to find clients. It was hard to market myself. It's hard to sell your product. It's hard to grow, find clients, attract clients, right? And I used to tell myself that story, and I used to experience that. So I started to have a lot of evidence to support that thought, to support that narrative. And then I was listening to other people, right? And they were telling me the same things. And I would go to courses and programs, and I would see that a lot of people struggle with the same thing, finding clients, selling, and all these type of things. So this started to really reinforce my perception and to turn it into a conviction. And so on autopilot, that loop will be, it's hard to find clients, it's hard to sell, it's hard, right? And so the only thing I could see in my result was that my subconscious mind was printing out that belief, that perception. And that's why the perception was the creation. So when I started to understand that perception is creation, I had to stop and be like, well, how do I know this to be true? And if I start to reverse that, and if I start to tell myself a new story, would it start creating a new result? And this is where the mind can be very resistant to change. Because you know something to be true, you've seen it so many times, like I've seen, I had hardcore evidence. So I could be like, well, Nenad, I understand what you're saying, but look at all my results, look at everything I'm doing, look at all the work, all the people I'm doing, all the people I'm talking to. And this is the result that I get. So you cannot come and tell me that it's easy, because it's not my experience of it. So seeing equal believing. I will believe you when I start to see it. Yeah? And so the mind can identify and hold on to the story that we have. And this is what creates the miscommunication, because we keep on sending the same code, the same blueprint, which just gets printed out even more in our reality and reinforce again the blueprint. So do you see that pattern and how it plays out? So the key in effective communication with the subconscious mind is to realize that I must start taking conscious control of what goes on in my mind. So I must correct the old story, the old thoughts, the old belief and perception that has contributed in the creation of my current reality. And this includes the concept of positive denial. So what does that mean? It means that there comes a point in your life when you have to choose what you will believe, what perception you will give your energy to. So in this case of the example I gave you, I realized that that old perception and that old belief will not lead me to a new result. So I knew I had to elevate my thinking. So I had to use positive denial, meaning that I see my thought, I see the evidence, I see where I am, I see how I feel about it, I accept those, and let me choose to think greater and to correct my perception, correct my belief, correct my thoughts about it. So when I started to change my thoughts, it started to create a new perception. It started to create a new belief system. It started to create a new vibrational emotion in me, new behaviors. And at some point, right down the track, it started creating more results. I started attracting new clients. I started closing faster. It started to feel more easy, more aligned, more congruent with the new story. And that new evidence then started to reinforce the story, the belief, the perception, and then it goes on and it gains momentum. So we gotta choose to look at our situation with fresh, new eyes by disregarding the old thoughts, knowing that they're only gonna create more miscommunication with our subconscious mind and lead to results that we don't want. And we're gonna instead start to choose that believing is seeing. So let me choose new thoughts, new perception, new stories that are a match to the things that I want to create. So then the question is, how do you do it? And there's two main ways that you can go about this. The first one is the one I've been implying since we started this video, and that is to take conscious control of the way you think, to become a conscious thinker, to start thinking greater, to start, you can use the word affirmation, auto-suggestions, whatever you want to call it, but you essentially have to upgrade your self-talk. Okay? You cannot keep on thinking the same way and expecting a different result. So in the case of the example I gave you, I started to think, okay, well, it's easy to find clients. I'm good at selling myself. People need what I have to give. I am good at what I do. People love working with me. So you can see that that new story feels so much more expanding, feels so much more aligned to what I was starting to create. And you know what was weird? Is that before that, I had never, ever thought that way. So that new self-talk was brand fucking new for me. And it's weird because there was this dissonance of being like, holy shit, I've never considered that possibility, right? And the mind will try to trick you into like, no, but look, right? And the mind will try to take you back into the old story. And this is where you have to remain consciously grounded in the new story by using that positive denial. You can use affirmations, you can use mantras, you can use whatever you want, right? Whether you want to record your own self-talk or just read a certain scripting paragraph. There are tremendous different ways you can do it. But essentially, you must start telling yourself the new thought, the new perception, the new belief as you want it to be. So people love working with me. I attract amazing clients. They love paying me. We're doing amazing work together. You see how this resonates so much better than it's hard to find clients. It's hard to sell. It's hard to market. Yeah? So you got to choose. And in the Bible, it says, choose ye this day whom you will serve. So you cannot choose two masters, two state of I am, two stories, two beliefs, two perception. You got to either serve the old one, or you gotta disregard it and move your energy, your attention to the new one. Because remember that your attention is an act of creation. Because where you focus your attention is what is going to create your perception. And perception is creation. And with your perception, you communicate to your subconscious mind how you want things to be. And when you do that again and again and again with repetition and persistence, it starts to become a belief. It starts to take form and shape, and it starts to become normal. And you will start to see evidence in your reality because your subconscious mind will work on it. The question is, will you waver? Will you go back and forth? Will you doubt that new talk? Will you look at evidence to support the new result, or will you look at the evidence to support the old result? And this is the difference between faith and fear. So taking conscious control of your thought is the first method. The second one is by visualizing. Using your imagination, really, instead of thinking words, we are imagining pictures. So we're using the visual elements to see things the way you want. So in my case, I could see myself talking to clients, having an amazing conversation, creating that rapport, and closing successfully and starting working together. I will see my calendar booked. I will see money flowing in. I will see myself in sessions where I'm talking. So I have clients, right? It presupposes that I have clients. I've done the process. It's working. There is that shift. I see the result. So I will create those movies, those pictures, those scenarios that implies the result that I want. And as you see it and as you feel it, you're communicating that to your subconscious mind. So you gotta be mindful of what are the old pictures that you used to create. I used to create pictures of, oh my God, it's gonna be the end of the month and nobody's gonna sign in and I'm not gonna make any money, or I'm gonna talk to people and they're gonna reject me again. So I used to have all those worst case scenario thoughts and movie playing automatically. So here you also have to use that positive denial and be like, no, okay, go back there, boom, disappear, and start bringing that new picture, right? Shifting your attention. Remember, your attention creates your perception, and perception is creation. And so, as they say in quantum physics, the act of observing something is the act of creating it. And you cannot observe something without bringing it to your perception, with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with the pictures, with the feelings, and with the repetition, and just energizing that by giving it your attention. And so this is the proper formula of how you communicate anything to your subconscious mind. This is the code, literally the code, the simplest way I can put it, the code for you to speak to your subconscious mind about what you want, to tell your subconscious mind exactly what you want to get, and then let your subconscious mind work on it. And just trust that it will work on it in a way that is best for you. And this is how you do it. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know if it was helpful. As always, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you have any questions, write them down as well. If you like this type of video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. I will see you next time. Be well.